All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at these two. We got to show you the differences between an FX4 and a Tremor long bed, short bed on the Super Duty series. So we're going to take a look at both of them. But right here we got an FX4 and it's a 350, doesn't matter, but FX4, and then we have a 250 Tremor and a King Ranch. But mainly we're talking about the outside differences here and what we're seeing on this. You can also see they are both pulled up about the same, maybe 6 inches difference here between these, but they're pretty close, and you can see the length of that bed. You can see the extra distance right here versus the short bed of the Tremor right here. And you can really notice it when you come back here. Now, like I said, there's a slight extra edge here, but you can see that extra length. It's probably about right there in reality on here. So you get that extra foot back there. Then you can see it definitely when you look at the length of the bed versus this. I mean, that's a long bed right there. That's a long beast of a truck. There's no doubt about it. You got a lot of space in there. So that's a nice factor in here. Now, on the front, there's some reasons that I really like the Tremor package. Here, I like the blacked out look better than the chrome look. I'm not a fan of the chrome look, but excuse me, is what it is on these. But notice this valance. See how low this front valance hangs on these? Even though it's an off-road package, FX4, we still got to deal with that valance. On the Tremor, look at that valance on here. Okay, it's just a small little bitty valance on there. Again, because it's meant to be used for off-road use. Here we got that huge nose guard on there. It's going to be set up for that stuff. Sorry, sales guy came over, he's bringing me a card there for me. But yeah, so you can see that valance size is a lot different on here. Both are considered off-road type packages. You got an FX4. You would think that would come out of there, but that's designed for airflow and for gas mileage, MPGs. Where on a Tremor, they're foregoing that, knowing that you're going to be more off-road. Tow hooks are basically the same positions there. Everything is there is good. We can get the winch package on this one, which is definitely what I would go with. So those are your major differences on the front ends. Now on the sides here, we're coming with Goodyear Wrangler Duratrax. These are a 35-inch tire that are going to come standard on these. And we are getting the Tremor badged suspension and tuned shocks for this. Where on here, we're getting FX4 tuned, simple suspension. They're both basically the same thing. I think they're just revalved differently. But I believe they're basically same setup on the FX4 and on that one. Here we are getting, I don't even know what size tires these are. They're a little bit smaller. These are probably going to be a 34, I'm guessing. These are a 275 65 20, and good looking rim. I like this setup much better here, and these are going to be a where are these at? These are a 285 75 that you're getting on a Tremor. And these ones here, again, we are at right there, 285 75. So these are basically, I'm pretty sure 35s are what you can get on here. But now you can fit a 37 on this all day long without a problem, one bit, on the Tremor, because the Tremor is lifted. You can see that when you look at the front of these. You can see the height difference on these. Definitely a little bit of a difference. You can see it even more so in the back. Now this one is a long bed, so it's going to look a little taller on this side because of the extra length and the rake on it. But you can see the difference on the hood, on the roof line. If you look at the roof line, you can see this one definitely sits taller. That's due to those tires, and it's also due to that lift they got. Now and you can see it on the running boards here also. But now I'm not a fan of these running boards. Now these are coming on your FX4. They're down low and they're easy to get in and out of. They're actually a better step to use, where these are still higher up, but I love this design being high up and in line with the frame rail, so that there's nothing that's going to hang or snag on nothing. These are going to be a much more off-road worthy, rather than these that hang way down below that frame rail you're seeing there. These are down super low. And again, maybe not a big deal for many people, and this will be a more comfortable step to get in and out of. This one just fits the off-road world a little bit better, with the ability to use those. I think in industry we call these Raptor boards, but they are perfect, and you can see the size of them too. These are pretty good size too, but they do sit higher up. As a matter of fact, put it into reference. Look at how high your step is to get into this one versus my step to get into this one. So definitely a pretty good difference. You can see the height difference here too. Look at the difference in the height of these steps right there too, because of being a Tremor and being lifted up higher. You can see the difference there. So you're getting a lot of nice features. Now the stuff that you cannot see that is in this Tremor package that's not in this FX4. This FX4 does come with a rear locker. The Tremor comes with an electronic rear locker also, but the Tremor it comes with a Dana Super 60 front axle that includes limited slip differential. They got rid of the torsion version of the limited slip, but this axle, this solid front axle, is Dana 60, has a built-in limited slip differential feature in there, which is as close as you can get without an electronic locker to having lockers in the front. They're very tightly set limited slip on there, so that's a beautiful, beautiful factor in there. Love the wheels that you get with it. The boards are nice. Otherwise, these trucks are very similar. Now, one thing that I do wish that Ford would do, they do not. Now, it is cool here too. Notice you got your camera here, but notice also on these, some of these like the King Ranch, you also have a camera up here in the tailgate. So, and your parking sensors here too. See both of those? So when this tailgate is down, okay, it's locked now, but when this tailgate is down, you still get the use of your rear camera right here, and you have parking sensors, so even with the tailgate down, you still see as normal. That's pretty cool. See, I don't think the FX4 has that. It does not. Okay, it is a King Ranch feature, but Ford put some pretty cool little features in them. And we got our hitches are the same on both, same setup there, and same exhaust setup that we have on here too, so we're not changing much there. All Fords though of the Super Duty line, I do not like how they keep the shocks inboard between the differential housing and out here by the leaf spring. I believe that that shock should be mounted between the leaf spring and a tire like the F150 does. Get that out of there, okay? Get that stuff out of the way for clearance issues and for drivability issues when you're hitting things. I'm not a fan of where the shock location is. However, it is what it is, and I could deal with it. They don't hang down lower than the pumpkin does. It's not that huge of a deal. You can see the lift block in there between the spacer between the leaf spring and the mount on there. That's where your Tremor lift comes in to play here. It's just basically a block there, but it also they put different shocks on as well to match that. Where on the FX4, look at how little that block is. It's on there. See that block in the middle? Look at the size difference of that. First the spacer block. On the actual Tremor, you can see it's much bigger, an inch bigger. So there's where your extra height comes in, and they adjust the shock length to match and accommodate that, but that allows you to put a 37-inch tire on this Tremor with no lift and no modification, no level, no nothing. Where on the FX4 in the front end, you can see the difference. Look at even the mirrors. You can see the height difference, how this is sitting up higher. This will require nothing to put a 37s on here. Will require a leveling kit on the front and probably a wheel offset change to put 37s on the FX4. I'm guessing, don't quote me on the wheel offset, but you will probably need a leveling kit on there. So there's your major differences between these two vehicles. Both of them are fantastic. This Tremor fits the bill exactly as what I need. Here's a used Super Duty right here. Now this one, you can see he's got it lifted, leveled, and he's got 35 1250s on there. 35 1250s is like the most common tire ever made that anybody puts on anything. Right there, 35 1250. This is a 35 1250. This is a 35 1150. Okay. Honestly, I'd rather have the 35 1150s and keep everything tucked inside of the wheel well like this, so that I'm not getting any, not beating up my truck too much. You can see it up here in the front. Okay, that's pretty nice. You can see these are sticking out a lot more. They're going to throw rocks, debris, scratches, and beat everything up on there. I'd much rather have them. I'd rather have an 1150 than a 1250 personally. But this here is a used one. Nice looking truck, great setup. He's got a lift on here too. You can see that lift is going to be, where can I, let me see if I can get under there to show it to you. Oh, this valance makes it tough. Yeah, right there's the spacer lift under there. You can see it in there. I'm hoping you can. Like I said, I'm not crawling down under here. It's too hot. The ground is too hot. I'm not dealing with it. But that is your Tremor option, and your Tremor version here, what you're getting with it versus what you're getting on the FX4. And for the little bit of difference when you take in the cost of the price of the FX4 versus the cost of the Tremor definitely gives you a lot more bang for your buck in the off-road world. This one will have the better road manners, little better MPGs. This one's going to have a lot more off-road capability. Now, these are both diesels. I would get the gas 7.3, but the thing you have to understand too is that these are heavy vehicles with a lot of weight in the front of it. Okay, with having a lot of weight in the front of it, even here, especially with this long bed, there is very little weight on this back axle back here. And this is where they give you the rear locker at in this particular vehicle. So when you get stuck, you can lock the rear up and have both rear wheels working 50% and doing a job. And then you get one front tire that's actually going to do the work up there. And so you only got one front drive tire pulling where all the weight is, and then you got these two working together back here where there's no weight. On here, with the foot shorter bed, you're going to get more weight on the rear axles because it's closer to the cab, which is going to be a benefit. You get the rear locker back here, which is going to help you too. But on this, with that Dana Super 60 front, limited slip differential, okay, when one wheel starts to spin, the other one is going to engage and kick in, and you're going to get almost locker-like performance out of the front of this where all the weight is. It's a beautiful thing. So that Tremor package, definitely a huge hit, a huge win. We are here if you want to check these out, any of these trucks. They got a bunch of them, as you can see. They got rows of Super Duties. It just runs all the way down. Brrr, look at them all. Reason I chose these two was because they're right here and they showed the difference between a Tremor, FX4, short bed, long bed. So I picked these, but you can see they got quite a few of them here. And we are at JC Lewis. Here is the guy's info. If you want to talk, stop in and talk to these guys right there. Does a fantastic job. He'll take care of you and hook you up. And while we're here, we are going to actually, let me switch that. We're going to walk over and talk about the F150s for a second while we're here. Beautiful day, 96 degrees, South Georgia, and we'll talk to you guys later on. Thanks for watching.